Can't buy me love, love, can't buy me love. I'll buy you a diamond ring, my friend, if it makes you feel alright. I'll get you anything, my friend, if it makes you feel alright. I don't care too much for money, money can't buy me love. I'll give you all I've got to give if you say you love me too. I may not have a lot to give, but what I got I'll give to you. I don't care too much for money, money can't buy me love, can't buy me love. Everybody tells me so, can't buy me love. No, 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 say, you don't need no diamond rings and I'll be satisfied. And that you want the kind of things that money just can't buy. I don't care too much for money, money can't buy me love. Can't buy me love. Everybody tells me so, can't buy me love. No, 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 say, you don't need no diamond rings and I'll be satisfied. Tell me that you want the kind of things that money just can't buy. I don't care too much for money, money can't buy me love, can't buy me love. Love can't buy me love. Thank you.
Good morning. Happy Sunday and welcome to everybody online. I see a few new faces here this morning, so welcome and thank you for bringing yourself and your beingness here today. I'm Jackie Van Mels, and I'm a licensed practitioner here at the Centers for Spiritual Living. Our Rev Helen is away, and so I feel blessed to be your MC for today. Well, thank you for that. So where do we start? Let's start by really talking about what the Center for Spiritual Living is. We're a hub, and we're Toronto's hub. And I sometimes feel like we're Toronto's best kept secret. We're here to support. We're a community. And it's really about coming together in oneness, where we're helping each other to grow and to expand and to become more of who we are. Our teachings that come from Ernest Holmes are based on the belief that God, and when we say God, we're saying greatness on demand. Universal mind, spirit, intelligence, first cause. There's so many different ways that we can describe this beauty, this high energy. And there is this universal law of cause and effect. And this law is working all the time. And it's working for us. And it's always saying yes to us. We believe in the individualization of the Spirit in us, that all people from every walk of life, religion, and race are individualizations of the one Spirit. What does that mean? That we're all one. That there is no separation, no division. There is no race. It is the race of love. And that's what we come here to celebrate. We come to celebrate love. We believe in the unity of all life. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. We come together to celebrate, to honor, and to recognize our power. Because boy, oh boy, are we powerful. And so let's just take that in. And as we take that in, I'm going to share some announcements with you. But stay with that loving kind of energy. I feel so super blessed because we have a guest speaker here today, Sonia Byrne. But she's not really a guest. She's been part of our center since 2011. And she's going to be giving a workshop this afternoon from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And it's called The Alchemy of Prayer. You know, prayer is the cornerstone of science of mind. When I think about prayer, I think about it's an art and it's a science. And when we bring those two things together, this magnificent power happens. And Sonia's going to be walking us through the process. And this is a learning that is for folks that have been doing prayer for a long time and for folks that are really wanting to learn more about it. So I encourage everybody who's here and wants to be part of that to come on board at 1 o'clock this afternoon. We also have our men's group, which is meeting today at 1 o'clock. And that is going to be taking place either upstairs or downstairs. Upstairs. And Sonia's going to be down here. Okay, perfect. And then we have another session by Carrie, who's in the band, but she's also a licensed practitioner. And on August 11th, she's having what is called a Carrie experience. And it really is a woohoo. It's going to take place August 11th from 9 to 3. $50 in advance, $60 at the door. But what are you getting out of this? When we think about happiness, do you know that children laugh 400 to 500 times a day? And the average adult laughs about 10 to 15 times a day. So the first thing we're going to get out of this is Carrie is going to make us laugh hysterically. Happiness protects our heart and strengthens our immune system. It combats stress, disease, disability, and may even help to reduce the aches and pains. Actually, it does help to reduce the aches and pains. Humor just delights life in so many different ways. So if you're interested in this, or if you want more information about it, I encourage you after today to just go over and connect with Carrie. She can share a little bit more about it and sign up. So you can sign up in the bookstore, or you can also sign up online. Okay, we still got junk out there. I call it junk, but so one person's junk is another person's treasure. So feel free after service, go take a look, see what's out there, and if anything grabs your attention, take it. Take it. We would gladly have you take it off our hands, and feel free just to give a donation. Okay. And lastly, my favorite thing. So once a month, we appreciate a volunteer. And we all know that phrase that it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a complete community to keep this center running. And this month, we are honoring Marg Hux as our volunteer of the month. Come on up here, Marg. Yeah. So I want to give you this. This is from the center. And for everybody that doesn't know Marg or does know Marg, she does so much here. She's been a part of our community for how long now?
Oh, 7 years or so, I think.
7 years. She leads a care circle. So if anybody's interested in that, you can come see her after that. She's here almost every single Sunday. And for me, it's just a pleasure to see you every day. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. And now we're going to go into our invocation song, I Surrender.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let Spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and true and free. As I continue making in this mystery, I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am kinder every moment, every day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know that what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am loving every moment, every day. And I am stronger every moment, every day. I will surrender every moment, every day. Thank you.
Thank you. And let's stay with that energy. Let's stay with that energy of surrendering. And if it feels good, I just invite you to smile, because smiling increases our face value. And as we smile, let's fill ourselves with gratitude. A gratitude for a week of goodness, where we witnessed pure love. When those boys from Thailand were all saved, and all of the folks that came together didn't all speak English, but there was that universal energy of yes. If there is a way in, there's a way out. And we saw something beautiful happen. And that beauty is right here, right now in this moment, where community is the cornerstone of our breath. And as we breathe in the spirit of life, we allow ourselves to express our own uniqueness. And by expressing our truth, we become one, not only with ourselves, but with absolutely everybody else. When we become one with everybody else, there is no separation. There is only love, and love is the most powerful force in the universe. And so I invite everybody to breathe in to your heart center, feeling the love of who you are right here, right now. And as you feel this love, give it to one another. Give it openly, give it freely, give it givingly. And as you're giving it, allow yourself to receive back the love of everybody else in this room. Feel the love going out. Feel it coming in. Feel it going out. Feel it coming in. Feel it going out. Feel it coming in. And as we do this, we recognize that all that there is love. And that this love, this divine energy, this creative beingness is who we are and who we came here to be. And so breathing this all in, knowing that this moment is good, that divine intelligence is everywhere present, that God's mind knows us to the degree that we know ourselves in each and every moment. We choose to say to ourselves, I am perfect. I am whole. I am complete. And knowing our truth, knowing our divinity, we say thank you. We thank ourselves for being here this morning, for being completely present. We thank everyone else that has shown up, that has given us all this love. We release, we let go, we know it is so, and together we can say, and so it is. Now I'm going to throw it back over to the band. Let's breathe the same air and dance.
Well, it's an idea whose time has come. A new generation decides as one. On the same small planet we are born. It's never been so obvious before. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air, and I think we ought to get along better, you and I. The future of history is crystal clear. The borders between us will disappear. On the same small planet we are born. There's no foreign country anymore. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air, and I think we ought to get along better, you and I. Some say that I'm out of touch with the times. The world is no place for a vision like mine. Well, still I can see it. I still can't believe that there's too many lives on the line. There's too many lives on the line. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air, and I think we ought to get along better, you and I. Breathe the same air, drink the same water, drink the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air, and I think we ought to get along better, you and I. You and I. You and I. Thank you.
Oh, now it's one of my favorite times where we get to introduce our practitioner of the day. And all of us come to the Center for Spiritual Living for different reasons. I come to be inspired. I come to become more. And the next person that I'm about to introduce, she helps me with that on so many different levels. She's a friend. We pray together. You know, talking about Sonia's workshop, the power of prayer and having prayer partner, we prayed together. And it's just a gift to have Lena as part of the center and also as a friend. And I want to invite you up now, and I am very excited to hear the words that you have to say, to share.
Okay, no, now? I'm not used to these mics. This will be fun. Now my hands have been occupied. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to everybody online. And happy steamy Sunday. And I'm talking about the weather, okay? It's just been wonderful. And let me start with this. And it's from Ernest Holmes, Science of Mind, page 309. Perfect God, perfect man, perfect being. This is the nature of God, of man, and of being. And it means that this nature is perfect, harmonious, and whole. The truth is indivisible and whole. God is complete and perfect, as are we in our individualized, unique way. So I reflected on a situation in my life where there was a fork in the road, where I chose to say yes to imperfect perfection, which is a theme this month. At the time, I didn't know for sure that my decision was going to lead to perfection of being. I was around 18 years old, completing high school, working part-time, and involved with a modeling acting agency at the time. I had also applied to go to a private college so I can complete a 2-year program in one. I needed to start working as soon as possible so we could maintain the family home. I had found out that I was approved for a scholarship that would pay for half my program, and the other half was a grant that I would pay back when I started working. I was thrilled to bits. I thought I had it all figured out. I would go to college, continue to work part-time, and carry on with auditions that would come up with the agency. I wasn't officially being represented then at the time, but I would get the opportunities when they needed my type. And my type at the time was ingenue, as I was classified, which means endearingly innocent and wholesome. Well, I hope so at 17. Come on. I had experienced a fair bit of activity in photo shoots, hair shows, hand shots, commercials, and auditions, and a lot of rejection as well, which came with the business. I was either not the girl next door, which meant they were looking for a long, blonde-haired, blue-eyed cheerleader type, or I had a high-fashion look, but I was not tall enough. I reached the designer model's belly buttons. They were almost 6 feet tall. So for photo shoots, which I got, I needed to maintain my weight at a certain level because the camera added 10 pounds. I weighed 98 pounds, and I was made to feel fat at the time. And when I look back at some of those pictures, I was a bone rack. So talk about an industry that was all about perfection. One where you are constantly under scrutiny and comparison. However, I found it fun and exhilarating. I started at 16. The motivation for me was the potential to earn more than minimum wage and the opportunity to meet lots of people beyond high school. It was a different world. I had been invited to attend the agency program, as most girls my age at the time, with the promises of available work and fame or glamour. Behind the perfection, however, there was a lot of imperfection, as I learned very quickly. You really needed to be aware of the photographers and location shoots, and that's a story for another time. I received a call to come into the agency shortly after I had found out that I was accepted at the college of my choice and confirmed scholarship in hand. I'm excited and curious about this meeting. The meeting went well. They wanted to sign me up with the agency, knowing I was about to graduate high school and represent me. I would be their resident photo shoot, hair, face, and hands model, because the rest of me wasn't tall enough. The caveat was I had to choose between the agency and college, because if they were going to represent me, I needed to be available full-time at their beck and call. I remember feeling as if somebody had burst my bubble. There went my best laid plans. I said to them I would need to think about it and get back to them. I had invested a lot of time and my own hard-earned money putting together my portfolio for my calling card. So it was a big decision. So long story short, I declined and decided to go to college, where I convinced myself that it would be a better future for me. So it was a tough decision, and keep in mind, I'm 18 years old. I'm making these decisions on my own because it wasn't something I could talk to my mom about, because I knew where she would sway my mind, and I needed to make this on my own. I also let go of the constant judgments of others' rejections of my imperfections from my auditions. In my heart and soul, there was that inner voice to be something more and not to buy into these opinions. When you hear them enough times, you start to believe them about yourself. And I noticed that. Thank goodness I noticed that. I didn't know these principles at the time, but somehow they were still living me. I let go of one dream, and I opened up to another. I was divinely guided as the experience I chose was one of the best ones that started me off in my life in an upward momentum. I wasn't 100% sure when I made the decision. However, it certainly proved to be later on. This was truly an experience of the nature of God. Perfect God, perfect man, perfect being, where the situation was orchestrated in perfection, wholly and completely through me, as me, even in its seeming imperfection of conditions. Namaste. Thank you. And our affirmation for today, if you bring out your beautiful cards, I'll say it once and we'll repeat it twice with feeling, with emotion, with heartfelt oomph, okay? I am miraculous, just the way I am, all right? Together. I am miraculous, just the way I am. And one more time to blend it into our cell and fiber of our being. I am miraculous, just the way I am. So settling into that perfection of being. And I've chosen a specific prayer about expressing your inner perfection today. And it's from How to Change Your Life, Ernest Holmes. So if it's comfortable for you, please close your eyes and rest in this place and listen to the words. I affirm the perfection of the divine pattern at the center of my being. Realizing its reality, I permit its essence to flow through me, claiming it as my very own, believing in its wholeness, perfection, and right action. I know that everything in my experience conforms to its nature. Accepting its peace, I am calm. Expressing its love, I am unified with life. Believing in its power with childlike faith, I accept the authority of its actions in my everyday affairs. Today, I declare the presence and activity of spirit in that which I am, in my relationships with others, and in my contacts with the world about me. Perfect God, perfect man, perfect being, and so it is. Thank you,
For
Jackie.
your beautiful words. Thank you. And now we've got our next song, an original, right, Erin? You always have a home.
So you can find this song on my record, which is available at the Live Well store. So here it goes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Life can give you many paths to follow. Sometimes you don't know which way to go. If you're ever feeling weary and you need a place to rest, in me you always have a home. It's hard to try and keep it all together when you're crumbling inside and you might explode. If you wanna cry, don't hold back the tears. In me you always have a home. I won't judge, I won't criticize. I'll be your shelter from the storm. We've got each other to get through the darkest days. You don't have to be afraid anymore. Everyone has struggles they are facing, but you don't have to face them on your own. No matter where life leads you, I'm here with open arms. In me you always have a home. Play it, Dominic. I won't judge, I won't criticize. I'll be your shelter from the storm. We've got each other to get through the darkest days. You don't have to be afraid anymore. Everyone has struggles they are facing, but you don't have to face them on your own. No matter where life leads you, I'm here with open arms. In me you always have a home. In me you always have a home. You always have a home. Thank you.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you, band. And now it's that time to introduce our guest speaker. And our guest speaker, Sonia Byrne, she doesn't live here in Toronto, and you may not always see her all the time, but she is very present and very active within our community. And one of the things that I like to learn or to understand or to know is what draws somebody to the center. How did you land here? And so here's Sonia's story. 2011. She's got a big birthday that she's going to be celebrating, and she's got a girls' weekend, and she's going to go to New York and do that whole girls things, you know, what girls do in New York. But it's snowed out. She can't get there. It's New Year's. So what's her second best option? Let's come to the center. And she was hooked. She was hooked on the teachings. And it was also one of her childhood dreams. At some point in her life, she wanted to become a reverend. And so she's been on this fabulous journey of learning. First, she became a licensed practitioner. And now she just recently, I need to say this properly, she is She has received her master's in consciousness, which was a 3-year program on top of the licensing. And then come October, she will actually go for her panels in front of a whole bunch of different folks, really sharing what she has learned. Sonia is also an entrepreneur, very business spirited, has her own business, and I love what she said. She helps spiritual organizations with their business and to help business with their spirituality. And so with that said, I want to call Sonia up to give her talk. Woo.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you. I was at the back. She was about to disclose that birthday number. I was like, it's all good. It is. So I currently live in St. John's, Newfoundland. That's where I reside at present. And I had moved back from the Middle East from working over there for 5 years. I moved back last year, and I thought, well, why not try something different weather-wise, right? So I moved to St. John's. So I love coming to Toronto. It's been so hot and muggy, and it's just been fantastic. As I was getting ready to head away on this trip, my mom called me, as my family lives in Newfoundland, and my mom said, "Is everything strapped down on your balcony?" Because we were getting the remnants of a tornado and 120-kilometer-an-hour winds, and I have this large balcony, and I sort of bungee cord everything off in the right-hand corner, because if I don't, that's where it wants to go anyways. So it's all bungee corded over there, and I said, "Yes, Mom, I'm good. I'm ready to travel." So I tell you, there's 3 nights since I've moved back to Canada that I haven't worn socks to bed. And one of them was last week, July 3rd, we broke a weather record with 23 degrees. I know, right? It's all perspective, and it's perfect in its own way. But I do love Toronto, I'd have to say, Toronto in the summer especially. So my talk today is You, Me, and the Lamppost. And I knew I was coming to speak with you folks today here and online. I knew about 4.5 months ago, because I booked my schedule quite a ways out. And when I told Helen that I was going to do something called You, Me, and the Lamppost, she said, "Really, the lamppost? You're going to talk about a lamppost?" And I said, "Oh, just wait, it'll be fine." So, I promised that today I will spend my talk time talking about secrets, gossip, shadows, and shipbuilding. I'm finding I have to leave a little space between those 2 words. Shipbuilding. I'm living back in Newfoundland, so I've got a nautical theme today, right? Yeah, absolutely. So I do travel a bit, and my Master's in Consciousness Studies was done through the Holmes Institute with CSL, and the campus I did that with was in San Diego, also a great weather town. And it meant I traveled a lot. So last month I was speaking in Arizona, and on the topic we're going to start with the first one, secrets. I was speaking in Arizona. I was staying at a community member's home, a fellow ministerial student, and she just moved into her home a couple of months before and welcomed me while I was there and speaking. And she had one of these Google canisters called Alexa, right? And so I had no experience with it, and she thought that was pretty neat. So while we were there the first day, she'd ask, "Alexa, what are the ingredients of banana bread?" Or, and it was just sort of a fun thing. And then I became aware, though, that Alexa was with us. And every once in a while, there'd be like a slight malfunction, and Alexa would say, "I did not hear that." And my friend Joy would go, "Alexa, we're not talking to you." "I am sorry." And I thought, this is a new age, right? This is a new age. So this is what happens. Then the next morning, I'm going to be their speaker. It's a Sunday morning, and I'm getting ready on the level that I'm staying at. And my friend comes down, we're ready to go, and I get this idea. So I sort of pull her into like my bedroom, and I said, "I've got this idea." And she said, "What?" And so we're telling a secret. You get that, right? And so I said, "Why don't we ask Alexa to get me a joke to start my talk this morning. And then I'll tell the talk and I'll tell the story and it will be funny. So we both go out into the living room and she says, Alexa, tell us a minister's joke. I do not have a minister's joke. So we could have pulled back and I'm like, I do what you do when you're going to tell a secret. I do this, right? It's the universal, we're going to tell a secret. And so I said, what about we'll just call it a church joke. Ask for a church joke. Alexa, give us a church joke. I do not have a church joke. And I'm thinking, what, really? And they always have Buddhist jokes on the internet. So I said, try a Buddhist. How about a Buddhist joke? Alexa says, what did the Buddhist say to the hot dog vendor? And she doesn't wait for us to go, what? She gives us the punchline. Make me one with everything. Ladies and gentlemen, spiritual community, this is the world we are living in. And if anyone has a DOG or a CAT that likes to WALK or likes a few TREATs now and again, you know this act of spelling. But I was spelling to an inanimate machine. I was spelling Alexa's name, so she didn't hear. In the other room, I was going to ask. This is the world we live in. And so in making that motion of that secret piece, this you, me, and the lamppost, that's a bit of a trite saying that means, so between you and I, we're going to talk about something a little personal, maybe a little private, maybe a little scandalous. And that lamppost, well, there's no problem. Except if your lamppost is Alexa. Then maybe there's more than the two of you in that conversation. But let me start by saying, when we share secrets, our own and others, there's always more than two of us in that conversation. Right? So why do we tell our secrets? It brings us relief to let it out. It brings us release to let it out. And maybe there's even some shame or fear, and we get to share it, and that dissipates or dilutes that experience for us. That makes a lot of sense. Why do we tell other people's secrets? Well, it's a grand equalizer, isn't it? It means that not everyone is doing all that great. Their Facebook page is one part of their life, right? It can't be that good. And then you know that they have a life somewhat like yours. But also, it tells about our fears. When we talk about secrets, we're afraid that somebody might lose their job. We're really afraid that we will lose our job. There's only oneness, and that is an expression of fear. So secrets are a part of channeling fear. As a matter of fact, that lamppost, how about if I just call it a shadow, our shadow? So it's our shadow self. It's what we don't want to acknowledge that we have or don't want to acknowledge that we're being. And so really, when we share secrets and even gossip, it's simply just our shadow expressing fear. It's our shadow expressing fear. So everyone can just all relax that that's what it means. It's like, oh, that's all that is. Okay. Now that you know that, what do you want to do about it? Right? Yeah. Because that lamppost is never really an inert lamppost. And the minute you buy an Alexa, you will completely agree with me, And then in terms of gossip, well, what do we think about gossip? Oh, it's horrible, it's awful, right? I don't do it. It's a really bad thing. Well, I do a lot of work corporately, and I do professional development workshops and work in coaching with leadership. And one of the things that I work with organizations to do is to embrace gossip and to find the good in it, because there is a lot of good in gossip. Gossip in an organization tells people what everyone is concerned about, because they're only talking about it because they're concerned. So once again, fears are revealed. It's maybe a corporate shadow, we can call it, right? And it also tells an organization what people really know. Because if there's elements of truth and elements of fact inside that gossip, then it means that something that perhaps is not supposed to be known is already known. So it gives a lot of information. It also provides an opportunity for informal communication. So when we view gossip as informal communication, we can take that judgment away from it and accept it for what it is. Now, with gossip and secrets, with shadow, we know that there's a piece of shame in there, there's a piece of fear in there, there's a piece of doubt in there. It's all the parts of us that are really quite imperfectly perfect, because there's a message in there, right? And so the fear of not being perfect can sometimes mean that we give up something that's quite good. We give up the good, something good and good enough, in the design of only waiting until something's perfect. So when it comes to gossip or secrets, maybe we don't feel we're going to stop it because somebody bigger and better than us is going to stop it, or somebody is going to have an impact that I can't possibly have, me and my little self. I can't possibly have that impact. Well, one person is so powerful. You can make whatever impact you want. Think of a moment in your life when you stopped yourself from stepping forward into something because you thought, oh, somebody is going to do this. It's someone else's responsibility. Someone else does this better. Someone else has more skills, and they're just going to go ahead and take care of it, so I don't need to take care of it. So we give up what might be really quite good in the desire to have something done perfectly. So let me tell you about perfection. A group of amateurs built the ark. But a group of professionals, well, they built the Titanic. So, if we live our lives not allowing ourselves to do something slightly imperfect, slightly not 100%, and just get it out there and get moving, then we miss some opportunities. So I have a quote from one of our New Thought leaders in history, Emma Curtis Hopkins. The Spirit knows nothing of imperfection. The Spirit shines through all your being with its clear, holy light. And so when we go into judgment about others, gossiping, and go into secrets, remembering that, also Emma, we are to see Spirit. We can see Spirit. And the more of Spirit we see, the more perfectly we see things. And this leads me to conclude that this idea of seeing something as perfect or imperfect is really a habit. And gossip is a habit, and telling secrets is a habit, and Alexa is happy to be part of that habit. I get the feeling she quite enjoys it for an inert object. And so we know that when we reduce anything in our life to the level of habit, it means we have control over it, we have impact with it. If you were in the meditation earlier, we are collaborating with it. So it means that we can actually change those circumstances by making a different decision and remaining in non-judgment of ourselves. As we tell a secret or as we engage in gossip, okay, well, let me just back this up. It'll be others, right? So as you step into your week and you witness others telling secrets and you witness others engaging in gossip, look to that shadow that is trying to reveal itself. Because the truth is in that. Perhaps this person is in fear. Perhaps you're in fear. Perhaps this person is in a concern. Perhaps this person requires love or validation or coffee or some level of experience that's coming forward in this really imperfect, twisted sort of, habit that happens, and it's coming out that way. And if we believe that everything is perfect, and even if we see something as imperfect, that there's perfection in that, then we have to let ourselves and others off the hook. So as we step out into the rest of our Sunday and our Monday, I invite you to do exactly that. Let's anchor this in prayer. So as we relax right into our bodies, right exactly where we are right now. And we know as expressions of oneness that this divine light, this spiritual, omnipotent oneness that we convene with is absolute perfection. And the keeper, the knower of all possibilities in this energetic experience of the divine, as some people know as God. Knowing that exactly everything that is possible also flows through us, also runs through our brain, also runs through our heart, also courses through our veins, and that in any moment we can change that moment by changing our perception, by changing our thinking, by changing what we're looking at. And so we accept and know this awesome power that is just so simple and so divine and yet so miraculous and awesome and big and impactful, all at the very same time. This is us. And so from this place of gratitude for coming into contact with these beings, coming into contact with this philosophy, coming into contact with these teachings, being here at the center, being online, being willing, being open, being present, being imperfectly perfect, we recognize with gratitude for the life we have in this very moment. And so we release all these thoughts and ideas into the divine mind, into the universal law, knowing it is done. And so please join me in saying, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sonia, for those beautiful words. And so now, let me ask a question. Everyone comes for a reason, but have you been spiritually fed today? Yeah. So thank you, Lena and Sonia, for your beautiful words. And we're going to go into our offering affirmation now. And if you have your card, we can say this together. Divine love honors my gifts. Does everyone want to repeat that? Divine love honors my gift. I joyfully give to my spiritual center, knowing it returns to me multiplied abundantly. I joyfully give to my spiritual center, knowing it returns to me abundantly. I am grateful for all my blessings and And so it is. All right, so we're going to get some music starting. We're going to go around with the baskets. If you've been spiritually fed, like I think we've all had that consensus of, let's give from our heart. And so let's sing.
Circulate my love right now. I circulate my love. Circulate my love right now. I circulate my love. Circulate my love right now. I circulate my love. Circulate my love right now. I circulate my love. And it returns to me, multiplied abundantly. Circulate my joy right now. I circulate my joy. Circulate my joy right now. I circulate my joy. Circulate my joy right now. I circulate my joy. Circulate my joy right now. I circulate my joy. and it returns to me, multiplied abundantly. Circulation across the nation, it's a love vibration around the world and beyond.
Let's try this. Okay, once again, with these beautiful gifts that have been given with love to our center, right here, right now, knowing that it circulates to us and back. It's a constant flow of coming and giving and receiving and beautiful things manifesting for our center, for each person that's given in this community. And it does come back to you multiplied abundantly with joy, with love, with feeling. For these gifts, I say thank you on behalf of the board, on behalf of the center. I let it go and let it be so, knowing that they are used wisely and for the betterment of this community. And so it is.
And so it is. Circulate my gift right now, circulate my gift. Circulate my gift right now, circulate my gift. Circulate my gift right now, circulate my gift.
Everybody.
Circulate my gift right now, circulate my gift. And it returns to me, multiply abundantly, and it returns to me, multiplied abundantly.
Thank you. And we come to that time where we say thank you to all of the folks that really helped to make our service magnificent. So let's start with the band. Thank you, Aaron D'Souza and band. Our board member for today is Lynette. Our greeters, Marg Hux and Margaret Ann. Our Live Well store, Lori. Set up, Margaret Ann. After service cleanup, Hester. On sound, we've got Wes. On camera, we've got Jim. Our lead practitioner, Lena, thank you for your words of inspiration. Thank you. Meditation for today was Sonia. Sonia, thank you for that beautiful peace meditation. Our community practitioner for today is Linda. So speaking about prayer and affirmative prayer, if you want to be prayed up, if you want someone to know the truth for you, Linda is over there and ready to serve, and I highly encourage you to take advantage of it. I also want to thank Sonia for your talk. Thank you so much for that beautiful, funny talk. Thank you. And so that's it. Let's kick this off into the streets with our last song.
Ain't a mountain high enough. Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
Listen, baby. Ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby. If you need me, call me. No matter where you are, no matter how far. You just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe. Remember the day I set you free. I told you you can always count on me. From that day on, I made a vow. I'll be there when you want me some way, somehow. 'Cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe. No, baby, no wind, no rain, no winter's cold can stop me, baby, 'cause you are my goal. My love is alive way down in my heart, although we are miles apart. If you ever need a helping hand, I'll be there on the double just as fast as I can. Don't you know there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe. Don't you know there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe. 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 Thank you so much. Have a great week. Thank you. Brendan on the keys, Dominic on the guitar, Carrie on guitar and background vocals, Rustin on the drums, Brian on the bass, and I'm Aaron D'Souza. Thank you so much. Have a great day.